Good morning, AI scientists, scholar practitioner leaders, SPLs. Welcome to our week 8, our final week for our summer 2025 Transforming Business with Artificial Intelligence. Our section number is the MSAI 599 B01. I want to congratulate everybody for getting all their week 7 assignments in and doing phenomenal on your individual group projects. Everybody did a tremendous job. And I'm so excited to looking forward to actually grading your assignments. And I will have them all posted this week because we know now this is now our week 8 and this is our final week. So all assignments will have to be due. We have 3 assignments this week for our week 8, and they will be due this week on no later than Wednesday. And if you submit them after Wednesday, of course, you would get 0 points because they're late. So, as I mentioned last week, going into this final week, week 8, all 3 of our assignments will be due on Wednesday. But yes, let's go back to our week 7, guys. We had a tremendous week. Everybody did extremely well on their 3 assignments. I really appreciate everybody's efforts, especially in your group assignment. And we're going to go over those as we always do. We go over the previous week, and nothing's going to change here in the final week, this week 8. So this week 8, we pretty much going to have the same thing again because we have 3 assignments. And it's really just an overview of everything we pretty much have done. You guys know it's been a very go-get-it type of course. Our AI course was very taxing as far as many assignments being due in a respectful, on-time manner, and then working together 3 times in group format just to get you guys really accustomed to working in that type of environment, knowing how to communicate, knowing how to show great leadership, and foster great relationships post the actual group assignment. So that was the whole meaning behind doing these 3 past group assignments like we did in this past week 7. So anywho, so we're going to go over those assignments. But before I do, I want to go into a couple of housekeeping items for our last week. As I previously mentioned, our 3 assignments will be due, and I will have all your feedback for those 3 assignments on Thursday because I got to post grades on Friday. So Thursday evening, you will see the your grades for your 3 assignments, and then on Friday, you would actually see the grading for your course grade, your final grade. So that should be fun. It's going to be a expeditious, fast week. As you can see how I'm blurring in and out because those dandelions, since I made it to the end of the tunnel, are right just going in and out just like I am. There we go. All right, so yes, again, we are at the end of the tunnel, guys, and I'm really pleased with this course. I've really enjoyed everybody's efforts. My communication with everyone has been phenomenal. I like that as well. I want to make sure that you do your course evaluations. If you have not reached out to those links that I sent you and on the Blackboard, please go through and do your course assignments, guys, in regard to the course evaluation. That is the only way our university, University of the Cumberlands, will know how beneficial this course has been for you and if there's anything that you guys would like to see additional in the course. But hopefully you guys will go out. Everyone, we need your participation on this because everybody knows participation is crucial, just like in your group environment. You know, we don't want to have no constraints. Thus, the theory of constraints. In other words, we as a university can only be better if everybody participating. If everybody doesn't participate, then we have to build those individuals up to participate. So it's a whole team environment, right? Everybody needs to participate on the actual course evaluations, okay? Thus, the theory of constraints, we have to build up that weakest link. We don't want you to be a weak link. So I'm building you guys up now for everyone to do our course evaluations courtesy of the University of Cumberland. And again, I sent that link to you guys last week. And also, the link is on last week's announcement that I posted on the announcement board. So you can't miss it. Guys, give us some great feedback. Tell us, especially all the things that you love about the course that I teach, that I taught with you guys, okay? That would mean a lot to me. Please feel free to express yourself. That's what it's all about, the likes, dislikes. Hopefully, everybody liked everything, okay? And then also, if you want to see something else, feel free to offer suggestions, okay? Again, it's all about the University of Cumberland being the best that we can be. And I feel as though during this course, I giving you a lot to be better or extremely bright when you go out there in the work world. And like I said, many of you guys are already there already. So that should already be beneficial to you guys. All the things that we've done, the cases, the discussion posts, your lecture readings, and your lecture videos, along with the articles. So there's been a lot in this overall past 8 weeks that should have been really steadfast for you guys, and for the ones who are actually working in the workplace, or the guys who are still here doing the practitioner piece, learning here at the university, either online or at the respective sites. Here at the University of Cumberland, you could be doing some volunteer work here at the University of Cumberland, or again, if you're out in the real workplace, or you can just be a full-time student learning all that you can be in our artificial intelligence AI. So again, do give us that wonderful feedback, guys. Everyone's participation is needed, okay? So we don't have no constraints, okay? So it's all about the theory of constraints, building everybody up to work as one cohesive unit. And it's a book by Goldratt, Elijah Goldratt. So if you guys want to read about that, it's called The Theory of Constraints. It's a wonderful, wonderful book. And I don't want to tell you it's about, but let's just say it's about camping. How about that? And there you go. And it's a bunch of people, and they got to work as a cohesive unit. So it's a great read. If you haven't never read The Theory of Constraints by Elijah Goldratt, you will really appreciate it. And that would be something that can really resonate with you. Okay, so that's my housekeeping items for this week 8, our last week, guys, during our time together. As I alluded to, I will be grading your assignments on Thursday. So the closeout is on Wednesday. I'm going to jump on them the very next day. So closeout is Wednesday at 11:59. Get all your assignments in, everybody, okay? I'm going to give you all your points so you can, in fact, get the grade that you are truly expecting out of a course, okay? Out of our course, okay? All right, so let's go into last week's material. As I just alluded to, we had the group assignment. We had a discussion post assignment along with your 2 peer responses on that initial post, or you have your initial post on the discussion post, and then you got to follow up with 2 peer responses by that Sunday, which was last night, right? And the initial post, the initial discussion post, as we always know, is always due on that Friday. So everybody pretty much got those in. And then we had the last assignment, our third assignment, again, another great case study. So that was wonderful, guys, as I just mentioned. And like I said, everybody got all their assignments in. And I wonder why, right? I believe because it is the actual last working week to get the last full week to get all those wonderful points. So, and I don't blame everybody for getting all their respective assignments in a timely manner. Okay, so our discussion post, let's go over that, guys. It's like we always do. I gave you 3 key areas that I wanted you to look at and really expound on, like I always do. It was all about conducting the research to identify a transportation company, right, that utilizes AI in their operations. Okay, that was the first question. Everything had to be in APA format, as we always know, guys. I'm very meticulous about that, making sure that I have my 3 in-text citations and APA formatting to go with those references, you guys know. And then the second point that I wanted to see in your discussion post, and again, this was the initial post, I wanted to see that you can provide me an overview of the company, including the industry of products and services that they actually offer, along with any other relevant details. And then the third thing from that discussion post was Now you had to just analyze the companies and what they utilize in regard to AI, right? I know you guys remember all that from last week. And what are the better results in its overall transportation operations? You had to consider specific AI tools or techniques they actually use to make the company very beneficial, that really makes them thrive, and what experience have they actually been using as far as implementation of AI in the transportation strategy, and the potential drawbacks and or uh, it could be many of things, as far as the things that may have impacted or really held them back as far as a constraint in regard to their approach. So those are three areas that I was looking for last week, AI scientists. And then again, you guys know it had to be done by that Friday, as I just previously mentioned. And that's it. And along, make sure that you gave me at least a minimum of 100 words on that initial post, and there you go, along with the three in-text citations. Okay. And that was pretty much it. And then on that Sunday, again, I needed to have those peer responses to your peers respond to at least two, minimum two, with my three in-text citations for each one of those responses. Okay, and then my second assignment last week was, guys, and I know that everybody enjoyed because everybody turned in their assignments in a timely manner because everybody's trying to get all those wonderful points. And oh, by the way, the discussion post is always 35 points, and our case study, the one I'm going over now, was worth 40 points respectively. So the case study was wonderful, guys. That was all about AI and at the Airbnb. And I don't know if anybody have actually utilized the Airbnbs, but my wife and I, we truly do enjoy those. They're really cost effective, especially if you have a big family. Okay. So there was 10 areas. I'm not going to go into those areas, guys. All you had to do was put everything in an essay format. And I've read many of you guys' case study because I really do enjoy reading case studies, how you guys address each of my 10 points that I talked about last week. That's why I'm not going to go over them this week. But everybody was very effective. And kudos to you guys because everybody want to get these last remaining points going into our last week, week 8. So everybody knocked that out the box. And the main thing about our case studies is that there's no chat GPT. You guys know how I feel about that. So no chat GPT. And if you get caught using it, I have to say the disclaimer, guys. Hate to be burst bubbles or whatever, anybody's bubble, but the disclaimer is if you get caught using our this tool, our ethics team here at the University of Cumberland will reach out to you because I will report that because that is a violation of code, as I always say, weekly. So we don't want to go down that path and or that rabbit hole. So don't take your foot off the gas pedal. Like I told you last week, do not cheat, guys. Do not plagiarize any type of automation tool to do your work. Okay. I want my AI scientists to continue being brilliant. Okay. So, alrighty. So that was it. Along with those on that case study, my standard is APA format as it's articulated, and giving me my in-text citations minimum of 3 for that overall case study. And then last but not least was the wonderful project that many of you were actually finishing up last night. So once again, as always, I'm into the wee hours with my team. And the thing about you guys are my team, so just FYI. The one thing about me, guys, I'm a realist, and some of you always cut close on these projects in the end, getting it in like at 12:20, 12:30, something like that. I don't take off of being late on projects. If you haven't figured it out, I'm telling you now in our final lecture. So I never did take off, and many of you guys will shoot me an email and let me know out of a courtesy. Thank you. But I don't take off points. So I didn't want to tell you that because I want you guys to continue working very effective, and you did. So you guys know what the project was about. I'm not going to go over all that, but the objective was all about applying that predictive modeling, and it was all about using the NIMI tool that I articulated in more detail last week in week 7. So you guys did really well on your project, as I previously mentioned on the intro. I'm really impressed with this team that I have, this group of AI scientists, scholar practitioner leaders, SPLs. You guys have been nothing but rock stars. I truly, truly am very humbled by each and every one of you guys. And it's hopefully you guys had a wonderful experience with me as well. So I just want to get that across to you. So that concludes our opening lecture for this past week one. Excuse me, this week 7, as we now continue here in our week 8. So when I come back, we'll go over a couple of more things from our week 7, and I'll see you guys in just a second. Take care. I'll see you in lecture 2 or 4. Bye-bye.